This is News 25 with Deanna O'Donnell. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Call 727-9900 today for your free consultation. If you need a lawyer, you need Nelson.
Thanks so much for joining us here on KPVM TV News 25. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. It's Friday, October 15th. Well, if you were trying to go to a restaurant at the Prump Nugget or Gold Town last night, you might have noticed that they were closed. Here's Brad Francis with those details.
Several businesses were without water for hours, and a boil alert was put into place for residents and businesses in the area of a water main break south of the Highway 372 and 160 intersection. The roadway was flooded early Thursday morning. This incident caused several restaurants and businesses to shut their doors to the public. Great Basin Water Company and Floyd's Construction worked on the pipe repair well into Thursday evening to restore water to the area.
Thanks so much, Brad. Well, this past week, we got together with our Nye County District Attorney, Chris Arabia, to get some updates on some cases. One of the cases was involving a murder and the defendant, Jeff Caraballo.
It's not often that you hear a district attorney give praise and positive feedback about the efforts of defense attorneys in a murder case, but this is one of those few times.
Got this result, which is what our goal was, without having to do a preliminary hearing and without having to do a trial. And that was a product of good negotiation and I think good work by the defense too, because I know from doing defense work that sometimes making someone understand that something they might not seem good is actually the best thing. There's an art to that, and I think that was present here, so we're happy about that.
Earlier this month, 38-year-old Jeff Caraballo appeared in Pahrump Justice Court to enter a guilty plea to one count of second-degree murder with a life sentence recommendation with parole eligibility after 10 years.
Mr. Caraballo was arrested and charged with murder in the death of Norman Bradley, and he has accepted a plea deal. He's going to plead to second-degree murder, and both sides are going to recommend a prison term of life in prison with parole eligibility after 10 years, which is the maximum for a second-degree murder charge. I'm very happy with this case. I want to thank Detective Fancher for the good work that he did on the case, and also I'm going to thank myself and the defense counsel, Nathan Gent. This was a realistic negotiation. It's a very severe penalty, and I think it reflects the system really working at its best. This is a guy who could be in prison for the rest of his life, and I don't have a lot of sympathy. The allegation is that he bashed the guy over the head with a hammer, and but the point is that we got this result, which is what our goal was, without having to do a preliminary hearing and without having to do a trial, and so I'm very happy with that, and I think the community should be happy as well. It's a good outcome.
Caraballo is scheduled for sentencing in Judge Lane's courtroom on October 25th.
And a Pahrump man is under arrest for what police say was his part in a burglary in which 2 guns were stolen.
Dakota Trinkle has been booked into the Nye County Detention Center on 1 count of burglary while in possession of a gun or a deadly weapon and 2 counts of grand larceny of a gun. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to a report of a burglary at a home on South Comstock Circle East, where the homeowner said someone had stolen a 12-gauge shotgun and a 9mm handgun from his residence. The arrest report says deputies identified Trinkle as a person of interest. When they went to his home, officers were told Trinkle was hiding in a bedroom. As officers entered the room, he jumped out a window and took off on foot. Deputies could not locate him at the time. 2 weeks later, patrol deputies located Trinkle and took him into custody. Officers spoke with him at the sheriff's office, where they asked him about the stolen guns. Trinkle told deputies he did not have the guns, but when asked if he was there when they were stolen, he said yes. The sheriff's office says Trinkle explained that he and another man went to the victim's residence and stole the firearms. And with that, Trinkle was rebooked into the Nye County Detention Center.
Well, the Division of Child and Family Services will be hosting its first virtual Victims Assistance Academy of Nevada training for victim advocates from November 1st of this year through January 30th of next year. Interested individuals working in a capacity to serve victims of crime employed in local, county, or state agencies are encouraged to complete the online VAAN application. For more information and to get that application, you can go to VAAN.nv.gov. Well, a call to Sherry's Ranch here in Pahrump leads to the arrest of a man who police say was carrying a concealed weapon.
Austin Collins is under arrest and facing 3 charges: carrying a concealed explosive, gun, or dangerous weapon without a permit, changing or obliterating the serial number of a gun, and possession of Schedule 1 or 2 controlled substance. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies were dispatched to Sherry's Ranch on Homestead Road. A woman, later identified as Collins' ex-girlfriend, called 911 to say Collins was returning a car to her. She was requesting deputies, saying Collins had a firearm and had been aggressive with her in the past. A deputy familiar with Collins said he might be suicidal, and dispatchers advised that Collins would shoot it out with law enforcement if contacted by officers. When deputies arrived at Sherry's Ranch, they detained Collins, citing safety concerns. Deputies say Collins told them he had a concealed firearm in a bag located around his neck. Dispatchers advised he did not have a permit to carry a concealed weapon. When deputies searched Collins' bag, they discovered a loaded gun, ammunition, and a plastic bag, which contained what initial tests determined to be methamphetamine. Officers also say the serial number on the gun had been partially burnt and altered. Collins was taken into custody and booked into the Nye County Detention Center.
Much more news on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest-reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, in a nutshell, the Bronx Wanderers is a family band from the Bronx belting out rock and roll. And after stints at several Las Vegas venues, the band has taken up residency at the Westgate Las Vegas. Mike Young stopped by to check out the show.
About 5 years ago, I was out and about with some friends like Jeff Savilico and James Michael, who were headliners here, and some still are, with a guy named Vin. I hadn't met him prior to this, but he told me he was part of the Bronx Wanderers. He and his father and brother had a group, and they played the full catalog of rock and roll from the 50s onward. Tonight, I'm here to see them perform once again, now at a new venue for them, the Westgate here in Las Vegas, and I'm very excited. We're going to catch up with Vin after this show. Stay with us.
I love the music that you're playing.
Thank you,
okay, you guys have updated it a little bit.
Yeah.
There's some newer stuff going on. Tell me about that.
Well, we didn't want to come back with the same thing that we've been doing for 5 years. You know, a lot of people, when they stepped away from COVID, revamped their show, changed their show. A lot of my friends, Matt Franco, a lot of people changed their show. So we wanted to do the same thing.
I've been yelling for years that I love the idea that we do Dion and Frankie Valli, and I will never abandon what got us here. You know, we'll still do the 60s stuff, but the people that are 60 and 70 were 20 in the 70s, which means Saturday Night Fever pretty much is your oldies now. So I said to them, we've got to pull the whole show forward. And I came up with the idea of showing, you know, when I was young, and I get to do that, and I'm having a ball with that. And Jesse's Girl, Summer '69, Living on a Prayer.
And we had an acoustic moment, which
great.
we've never had in our show in 15
Well,
years.
that's a beautiful song.
Thank you. Yeah, I love
you
it.
learn. You said you learned to. No, your dad said you learned to play guitar.
Lead guitar.
I learned to play lead guitar in the show because we
you're
used.
kind of a savant.
We used to.
You can play it. You were playing guitar and piano at the same time.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, it used to be a 6-piece band, but
we're gonna get him the cymbals that he puts on his knees.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the
like
one-man
Dick Van Dyke
band.
had in Mary Poppins.
Oh, like a one-man band.
Yeah, I'm gonna be the one-man band.
I got you.
The whole thing about the Bronx Wanderer show is we want to be the only music show out there that can play to an 80-year-old, that can bring her daughter, who would be like 40 or 50, who could bring the granddaughter, who is like 20. And it's not easy to do a music show that would be fun and good to everybody. And because we're separated by 30 years, you know, he's got to do some older stuff. I want to do some newer stuff. And I feel like that's how we've reached a really large target demographic of age 8 to 88. And that's what
What's the real story then? Who wants to do the younger stuff?
Dad wants to do the younger stuff.
He says to me, stop. He goes, stop. He goes, because I want to be like 7. We got to play during the pandemic to all like 20 and 30-year-olds at Carnival Court.
Yeah, you totally can. Yeah, you totally can.
It was in Carnival Court outside of Harris. We're playing all 20 and 30-year-olds, and I'm playing all his young stuff, and I'm loving it. And the best part is I would get all this applause because I'm the old guy. It's like, look at the old guy.
He gets
the
a
old guy's
sympathy
still
clap.
going. And
He
I'm
gets a
like,
sympathy
yeah.
clap.
Yeah. And I go, here's a song I played for your mother at her prom. Yeah. And it worked.
Thanks so much, Mike. For more information about the Bronx Wanderers and their show at the Westgate Las Vegas, just head to their website, thebronxwanderers.com. With the new school year well underway, many parents are finding last year spent in virtual learning was not good for their students.
Slipping behind in the basics, they've been turning to tutoring centers for some help. Many parents are wondering just how that works, and while all tutoring is different, having a good plan moving forward starts with knowing exactly where your student has fallen behind. Nina Bahakta, a Kumon Center owner and director, explains.
Initially, we do a placement test, and in the placement test, we test things that were previously taught, currently being taught, and then the next grade levels. And through that, we talk to the parents about, this is what your student was really strong at. And we look at all kinds of things, body language, their facial expressions, their use of like fingers. Are they counting? Are they thinking? Are they pausing a lot? Do they get distracted easily? All of those things so that we can lesson plan their lessons on all the goals that we want to work on.
At Kumon, one-on-one instruction is the key while building on the skills a student already has. Working towards the ability to learn independently is the ultimate goal.
News 25 will return right after these messages.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
Well, everyone is spending more time at home these days, and that likely means more time watching TV and movies at home. If you're ready for an upgrade to your in-home theater, you're in luck. In today's Ask Angie segment, Bailey Carson talks with us about setting up the perfect viewing experience for your home.
Watching TV and movies at home is something nearly everyone spends time doing, and there are a few things to consider to take that at-home viewing experience to the next level. Bailey Carson, a home care expert at Angie, is here to offer tips on how to set up your space for the best possible experience when it comes to sound, screen, and comfort.
Before you put together your media room, think about where you might want it in your home. How much space are you going to need, and what's going to be the best spot for watching TV and movies? It may be that it fits into your existing living room, but you also might want to consider upgrading an underutilized space and repurposing it. This could be a dining room, a playroom, perhaps a finished garage or basement. You'll want to think through all these options so that you have the media room of your dreams.
Once you have the right space, think about what you want to prioritize, how the space will fit in with the rest of your home, and your budget for the room. These three categories will help guide your redesign to make this the best in-home theater for you and your family. Depending on room size and budget, you can start small by upgrading your sofa or TV and getting a soundbar, or you can go one step further with surround sound.
Your screen, sound, and lighting can be the most important parts of your media room, since they'll really bring the viewing experience to life. Once you have your TV and speakers or soundbar, consider mounting them. This can help you free up floor space, as well as make sure that they're the optimal height for viewing. Since this is delicate and expensive equipment, you may want to consider bringing in a pro. They can also help you hide wires behind the wall to make the whole viewing experience just perfect.
When deciding where to put your TV, choose a wall that does not get a lot of direct sunlight. This will help avoid glare during morning news or afternoon games. If that's not possible, consider adding window treatments that can block the sun when needed, but let in natural light when you're not watching anything.
Your media room is likely a place you're going to spend lots of time, so you'll want to make sure that it's comfortable. That means when you're setting it up, focus more on relaxation and less on formality. Chairs and sofas with deeper seats or even a sectional can be a great way to provide a more casual vibe. If you're not sure how to set up the space, it can also be a great time to call in an interior designer to help you think about how to set up for that perfect viewing experience.
If you're committing a space to being a home theater and nothing but a home theater, think about adding insulation to the ceiling, exterior and interior walls to keep the sound in. Also consider the type of lighting you install. Recessed lighting and sconces with dimmers are great choices.
No afternoon of football or movie watching evening is complete without snacks. So be sure to consider that when you're picking your furniture and flooring. You'll want to pick things that are stain resistant and durable. For flooring, consider laminate or nylon, or if you prefer carpet, think about a polyester option. When it comes to furniture, leather is a great option that can last many years with regular care and maintenance. As you consider your whole room, make sure to do your research, bring in pros where you need them, and you'll be set for a great viewing experience for years to come.
All right, today's Save a Pet, we head back to Never Forgotten Animal Society here in Pahrump, and that's where we find Pat Lemming, who's excited to introduce us to Cammie.
Hi, this is Pat Lemming from Never Forgotten Animal Society in Pahrump, Nevada. This is Cammie. She is a 2-year-old domestic short-haired cat. She is spayed. She is got all her shots. She has got her microchip, and she's ready to go to her forever home. She is a very loving, sweet little girl. She really loves to be in people's laps. She loves to be loved, and she likes to be part of the action. So anytime you want to be able to sit down, she's going to be in your lap trying to give you loves and cuddles. We are located at 520 East Street. Suite C is in Charlie in Pahrump, Nevada, right behind Wells Fargo Bank on the corner of East Street and Wilson. Our hours are Monday through Friday from 10 until 5, and we are open 6 days a week. So you're more than welcome to come in. No appointment is necessary. We really appreciate your considering our animals, and we look forward to seeing you here at our shop.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That cat was so cute, but we're going to take a look outside and see these beautiful skies. We're going to find out more about our weekend weather right after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios. Lovely to see you on a Friday. Yay, we made it all the way to the end of the week, and we're heading on into the weekend, and it's just exciting. What can I tell you? Look at this exciting weather map we have here. Fernley Fallon, you're stuck in the mid-60s. Carson City giving everybody up north an example, making it all the way to 70 degrees. I'm looking at you, Tonopah and Goldfield. Beatty, 74. Hey, you got the memo. Amargosa's all the way up to 79. Las Vegas hit 75 today. Out in Death Valley, a scant 86 degrees for Death Valley. Not too bad. And here in Pahrump, well, let's take a look. 73 degrees is our current temperature. That feels like paradise. How about that? 74 was our temperature just a little bit earlier. Sun rose this morning in all its glory and promise with the hope of a new day at 6:51 a.m. and all hope extinguishes tonight at 6:07 p.m. It'll be a sad little ceremony we have in the backyard as we go, bye, sun, bye. East-northeasterly winds to 5 miles per hour, carrying us to the morning's low of 47 tomorrow. And humidity, 21%, not too bad. Nice kind of desert, just damp enough. Heading into the weekend, Saturday, sunshine, yay! Sunday, rain, boo. I don't know about rain. We're going to have a lot of wind, and there's going to be a lot of turmoil, some clouds returning, maybe some sprinkles here and there, but highs all the way up to 80 degrees. Doesn't feel too bad. Come Monday, it'll be all right. 68 degrees, 13-mile-per-hour winds. Calming down as we hit the rest of the week. It'll return to sub 10-mile-per-hour winds. Some clouds here and there, and temperatures ranging down from 68 all the way up to 82. I'm kind of liking that 10, 12-degree trend, don't you think? A little Indian summer towards the end of the week. Let's make plans. All right, enjoy. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on the other side. Back to the desk. Here's Deanna.
Thanks so much, John. And, you know, we are having this wonderful Halloween event. If you have been here for a few years, you know that there's always a Halloween spooktacular inside the Bob Roode Community Center. And Tony Casey's been doing that for a number of years, and she is an intern here at KPVM. So we decided to join Tony Casey and have an event outdoors. And the reason why is because the Bob Roode Community Center is actually under construction right now. So this event is going to be outdoors, and we are having games right there on the basketball court. We're having trick-or-treating all around all of Petrick Park. And we're asking businesses, groups, families, organizations, teams. I'm even calling out you school teachers out there and everybody who would like to give out candy. Maybe you used to give out candy years ago when you were maybe in larger town and you still want to give out candy to kids. Come on down, just bring the family, bring friends. Any organizations or businesses or whoever would like to join can join. It's all free, so you have to buy candy. So we would like you to set up a table, or you can even have a tent. You can decorate it, and of course there's some availability for electricity down there at Petrick Park on October 31st from 5 until 8 p.m. You can give us a call to register your booth, 775-299-9992. That's 775-299-9992. You can call or text. We want to thank all the people who are participating, including Nevada Highway Patrol and the Nye County Sheriff's Office, KPVM TV, and of course Nye Communities Coalition and so many others. And we will of course let you know all the people who are signing up. We'll see you back here on Monday. I'm Deanna O'Donnell. Have a great weekend.